All right, so to start, let me share my screen. Share my screen. So basically, I think we should start this way. What do you, who anyone can open their mic. Do you think, what do you think remote jobs entail? What is your idea towards it? Like, how do you think you can get it? Has anyone had any experience with them? Just to open the floor. By the way, after this, there will still be other activities that will come up. I will also be giving the certification. But you guys will have to take an exam before that. But that will be maybe later in the week or next week. But we'll try and sort that out. We want to create a standard remote job ready certificate. So we'll be offering that to everyone, and it's all part of the package. Um, okay, so yeah, anyone who has any idea, just what do you think remote jobs entail so that I can get an idea of what you guys have in mind concerning it. Yeah, good afternoon. Good evening. Yeah, that's church environment. Yeah. But remote job basically, based on my knowledge or understanding about it, yeah, is a job that gives you opportunity to work from any location. Any location. Okay. So that's correct. While the location is a major factor, it's not even the only factor. And the reason for that is because um, outside of just timing, it also has to do with being able to work at your convenience. For a lot of them, not all, but for a lot, you're able to do things, maybe, for example, let's say you get one and you are able to get, okay. Where did this? Sorry, one second. Let me turn off. Okay, so um okay, yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. So it's not just about the place, but also about the convenience. So for a lot of people, depends on what you get. The thing is many people think that it's something that, oh, you just, like I was talking with someone a few weeks ago, a member of the team, and a lot of people have that mindset that you just start. I think we're recording. Yeah. That you just start, and once you start, you just start applying. I mean, once you start applying, you just get one, and once you get one, is happily ever after. But there are a lot of things to do with it. First thing is where to even look for these remote jobs. There are a lot of platforms, but the right platform as a Nigerian, we have to first of all know that racism, and sorry to have to bring this up, but racism still very much exists in the world that we are in. And as a result of that, you might experience what is called a glass door ceiling sometimes. Depends on the group of people and places and all. So you may have an interview, you may see a remote job and you just look at it that you qualify very much for this. And you are very sure that you are the best person for it, and you have what's it called? You apply and all. And you maybe they invite you for an interview, you have the interview and you think you did well with it. But the thing you may not understand is that person may not be comfortable working with Nigerians. The thing about the country we come from is there's a what's it called? A is it a mindset that already precedes being a Nigerian, which is the reason why even when you get these things, sometimes you need to even go the extra mile to prove yourself as someone that they can trust. Because if you don't do that, it becomes even harder to get them. Okay, so let me open the website for you guys. First thing you need to do is to get a skill, and not just get a skill. A lot of people are caught up on coding and they just think you should be able to code. or I've met a few people that will tell you before they even do anything, they want to first of all buy a big laptop of hundreds of thousands of naira. Then they will now use like 8 months to learn a skill, then on and on like that. And it's not bad if you have the money to bankroll yourself while doing all that. But for the average man who just needs something that they can use to supplement their income generally, that is usually not feasible. Okay, that is usually not feasible. That's one part that we need to understand. So, and another thing there is, people look at the skills and they think it's all coding related skills. Wait, I think let's do it this way. Just unmute your mic and just name any skill you know or any skill that you are currently learning. Let's see what you guys have in mind. You notice a pattern. Anyone, feel free.
Microsoft Excel and data analysis.
Can you guys see my screen?
We can't see your screen. Those of us on
Yes, we can see your
Zoom.
screen.
Okay. So a lot of
Okay,
skills. So you can see what I
but
mean.
those of
Most people don't even know the skills they are looking for. They just know that
hello, hello.
you need to get a skill. And most people think it has to do with coding.
For
That's
those of
what
us at
affects.
using Zoom,
A lot of people begin to feel like it will take a lot of mathematics. It will take a lot of. You even look at what you are trying to learn, and it's looking like gibberish in your eyes. You are looking at it and wondering that in the next 1 year you may not even understand it. You see things like UX. You are wondering, what does UX mean? What does Node.js mean? What
hello,
is,
good afternoon. Hello, good
you
afternoon.
know? So, mhm.
Hello, good
So
afternoon.
thing is,
Hello,
one secret that a lot of people don't know is
hello.
there is
You can't. Can you hear me?
80%, I can say as high as 80% more of jobs
Hello,
that are done,
hello.
that can be done from any location, like our friend said, or can be done remotely, are not necessarily, what's it called? Are not necessarily, what's the English word again? They are not necessarily coding related skills. A lot more of them are non-coding related. A lot more of them are non-coding related. So what does that mean? There are other areas like accounting for, let's say, for example, you're already good in accounting. You can actually do remote related accounting. These are, look at, like the ones we have on the website, posted on the website, and you can see that these are very recent posts that we have on the website. Uh, Remote entry level, like UX design now has to do with front end development. It's a bit technical, but well, for those who are good in it, we have areas like let's look at this IFRS accounting, freelance writing. Freelance writing is a very large area. I know someone, I don't know if she's in this meeting. Yeah, she has made thousands of dollars from freelance writing. She writes for storybooks that are going to be printed out in the US. So you see the name of an author on a book outside of Nigeria, and you are thinking that that book was written by the person on the title. But that book may have been written by like 4 or 5 people, 2 or 3 of which may be Nigerians who may have participated in that project. So that's already a skill. Once you are good in that, you are good in it, and you are able to keep pushing from there. So that's one. Um, like we have this too. This is more of even the bio-related field, pathology, and then we also have other areas like sales, quality assurance, product analysts in areas where it's useful. Some of them may need someone that they can see on a physical basis, but a very good area for things like this is customer service. Customer service is one of the easiest and one of the best, no, well, not necessarily one of the best, but one of the easiest generally because the reason for that is because it has a low barrier of entry. What does that mean? You need not too many skills to get started with it. That's the reason why it's a low barrier of entry skill. So low barrier of entry skills are the ones that a lot of them are uh, what's it called? Are sorry, okay. A lot of them are coding related. These are things that you can watch a YouTube video for
Please,
maybe 5 hours
I have
and
not seen
understand how it
anything.
works completely. I hope the sound is still good. Can a 5 hour YouTube video can teach you these things, and you can do a bit more. Like, see this one now. This was posted November 17. Remote junior customer support specialist. Product testing is also a very useful area for such things like say like this one, a senior product engineer. This kind of role, they are looking for someone who has already been testing products. If you are someone that likes to test softwares, then you are perfect for something like that. Look at this business promoter, social media manager. I didn't even remember that one. Social media management. A lot of people already do it. A lot of people do it for companies in Nigeria. So it's by the time you may have been managing social media for your aunties, your uncles, your personal business and all. It all adds as experience. That's also leads us to another area in this whole thing, which is how to actually um, package your proposals. But we would try to get there soon. When it comes to CVs and things like that, your CV, one thing that we need to understand is these jobs, they are not really too concerned about your qualification, how many universities you went to and all that. What they want to know is what can you do? The mindset, first of all, we need to understand the mindset behind people, a lot of behind why a lot of people try employ people from outside of their countries. Now, you see, the world is divided in such a way that there's a gap between countries. So we have the low income countries, middle income countries, high income countries, high income countries, and some middle income countries. Somebody earning monthly there, their monthly salary can take care of a Nigerian's salary for the next 2 years, if that makes any sense. So, for example, that person, let's say someone earning, I don't know, maybe like a few $1,000s outside of Nigeria, and they have a business idea. They don't want to spend their whole monthly salary on paying another person's monthly salary. They just want to design the business from maybe from their phone or something, for example. So what are they going to do? They will pay somebody, they will think, okay, if they outsource it to someone, if they want to give it to someone in their own country, by labor laws, no, they have to pay the same amount they are going to pay. They would wish to be paid. So they are going to spend a lot. They will also now add health insurance, add certain other things. The person will be entitled to maybe 1 month, 2 months paid holiday, all those things. But meanwhile, you can give that same job, for example, to somebody for maybe $100 or depending, outsource it to someone in a low income country or a middle income country, mostly low income countries, for a lesser amount. And you don't need to bother about things like health insurance and all. So that is the major reason why that person would do that. That is the major reason why those people do that. So I wouldn't say when you are bidding that you should short yourself. I think is the best thing to do is to find out before you give your price, ask them what is their budget, what do they have in mind. That way, you don't miss by going too low and you don't shoot too high. Because let's be reasonable, we're in Nigeria, you can build up your portfolio with time. But yeah, so that's one aspect. I hope I didn't lose my train of thought. Um, I'm just showing you guys other roles that are available here. For example, look at this business analyst. Data analysis is another very beautiful area. Data analysis has a lot of open areas. Data analysis is very large. Companies are always looking for someone to analyze their data because there's always data. Excel sheets, you may just be good in Excel sheets. You're already good as a data analyst. All you need to do is learn more and you'll be able to take on certain data analyst roles. And once you start doing those, you're able to do even more. This one was one that was posted by our company for when we needed a few data analysts. So that's the reason why we had the tag here in Nigeria. So people will know that it was for Nigeria, not international. Look at this junior customer service support. Where are the other ones? See this TikTok shop manager. If you are good in TikTok, There's someone who would have needed your services as a November 04. And one thing that makes our website standard remote jobs to be different from or to be tailored is the fact that we promote it for Nigerians. So any job you see there is something that is open to Nigerians. So you can apply without wasting your time thinking that, what if they don't accept you as a Nigerian? And you, like we were saying earlier on the group, you don't need to spend money to apply for remote jobs. Certain websites like Upwork, for example, you need to in most cases. But outside of that, almost every other website doesn't require it. So if anyone is asking you to bring money, I know this is a paid training, but outside of the fact that it's a paid training, which is quite ironic that we are telling you not to pay money to people, but that's just the honest truth. You don't need to pay money to anyone to get somebody that wants to employ you who does not need your money. So that's just something we need to know and just get out of the way from the very start. Um, so that's the reason why these companies employ people. A lot of the cases they are trying to save money and not just save money, but save money and get good talent at the same time. And without having to get into a lot of issues, they would, at least they are more comfortable knowing that you can't wake up one morning and sue them the way you would if you were in their country and maybe so those are the aspects and the things with that particular area. Look at this remote WordPress developer. Someone who is good in WordPress would have been very useful for this happy forms. I don't even know what this means. So there are a lot of areas that people can um that people are needed in. It's a very big ocean. We have not, as a country, we've not even touched a percent of what exists in that market. Why I say so is take a look at people in the Philippines. In the Philippines, there are companies whereby you see a large building. Everybody in that building is working remotely for different companies. Those are the kinds of markets they have in places like the Philippines, Brazil, and some other countries like that. So we as a country, we've not even started. There's a lot that we can do, but we just need to maybe get our name out there to be more open. And before you know, these kinds of because like for example, you see a lot of remote jobs. They would say only people from the Philippines are invited to apply, or people from this place or that place. So you automatically, as a Nigerian, that is almost like a disqualifying factor at that point. But if you know that it's something you can do and you are qualified for it, it also still apply. Don't give up because of that. So, one other area we should look at really quickly now is what do you apply for? How do you know what to apply for? And that's a very simple question. Only apply for what you know you can do. That's why you should be able to look. One thing people need to understand is looking for a job is a full-time job on its own. When you are looking for a job, it requires consistency. You have to put in mind that it may take you 3 months before you find what you are looking for. It may also just take you a week, depending on God. If God being so good to you, it may even just take you within a week. But consistency is needed. We've been able to help quite a number of people get remote jobs, and some of them came in the first week because of the kinds of skills they had and how good they were. One was in data analysis. And so, yeah, look, don't waste your time and energy applying. Don't create a random application email or letter that you are just sending to every job that you see online. Because even if you manage to scale through to get an interview, in the middle of the interview, they will know that you do not know what you are talking about. And you would have wasted both your time and their time. So it's better you use that time to go deeper in your search and look for things that are more related to what you as a person know that you can do. And when you get what you can do, then you can apply it. Make your application as beautiful. When you're applying, don't go, I have 2 degrees, I have to this, I have to that. What they need to do is your knowledge application. This is the problem they have. They need somebody in customer support. This is your experience with customer support. You have used this customer support software before. In your customer support role, you were able to turn this to this, get this result every day. You brought new processes for this. And Just doing that, you would find that that is that is how to stand out because you are not saying the same thing everybody else is saying. By the time, because see, it's just like applying for jobs anywhere. When you are applying, there are probably hundreds of people also applying for that same role. So if you put yourself in the place of the interviewer, how many are you going to read? You can't read everybody's application. You may not even be able to read through half. Once you look through the first 10 or 20 and you see what you like inside there, every other person applying may just be wasting their time because that person is not going to read through them again unless they interviewed the first few people and realize that they are not good for the job. So in your first few lines, you have to be able to catch the eye of the interviewer, catch the eye of whoever owns the role you are applying for. Don't start with my name is this, I have this, I was born in this state. They don't have any business with any of that. All they want from you is what experience do you have, what knowledge do you have, and how can you help them in their own particular uh process or in their particular case. So I think one more question that we would look at here is how many people are attending right now? We have on Zoom, there's about 8, 10 on Zoom. Then Google Meet, we have about 30. Okay. So one more thing we should look at that is very important is where to apply for these kinds of jobs. A good place to start is our website, and that's because we get the ones that we know. Okay, look at this, for example, remote Twitter marketing manager. So whoever owns this, and we post new jobs there almost every day. So you can go there and apply. This particular company now, they require you to, this is from We Work Remotely, and they require you to just use a Google Docs form to fill out the form. So let's say you scroll through, and we have the jobs tagged in different tag areas. So we have them tagged in different tag areas. So you just come to the corner here and you say labels. Then see, these are different labels: account manager, administrative assistant, AI enthusiast, Android engineer, data analysis, e-commerce branding, Figma for those that are tech heads, JavaScript. So you can apply for these jobs using these. You can filter to get only the ones you are interested in. And you also need to understand the lingua of these things. For example, a data analyst and a senior data analyst may both mean the same thing to the person looking for someone to hire. For example, um, marketing, Twitter account manager and social media manager may mean the same thing. Someone may say looking for an entry level like this post here, entry level that was posted 2 days ago, entry level UX design internship. But the person is looking for UX and UI, or you have UX and UI. It shouldn't dissuade you from applying. Also, still apply. So you need to understand that they should be close. A lot of these things are close to each other. That's why you should always read the description. When you read the description, you would know if it's something you can do. You would know if it's something that you can do. And it's always far better. You increase your chances a lot more by applying for what you are sure you can do than just applying to anyone. You remember, it's a full-time job. Let's say, for example, you work a physical job in a company. What you can do is you can take 1 hour every evening or every night to send out applications. You can take 1 hour, if you can take 1 hour every evening, maybe every Sunday or every Saturdays, you can take out time to make up some applications. And that's another reason for the standard community or the standard hub. I think we would be able to create a community like that where people can apply for jobs at the same time and they are able to communicate with each other while they are applying. Just like a hub where people can go on there, like maybe like a Zoom meeting like this, and people can send out applications together just to make it have a nice feel. But what we are trying to build goes beyond just this training. We're trying to build an anti-school, if we can call it that, and almost like an alt school where people can come learn how to get remote jobs, test out different things in terms of like which skills they would like to know and all. guide them through the process automatically, of course, and get them the standard remote ready certification after maybe a week or a month, depending. But basically, create a community where people can foster together and we can build. Another thing we also do is oh yeah, maybe I should leave that for later. So, so it's basically a community for Nigerians. So don't think after the training is where we draw the curtains. We would also keep sending you guys resources that you can use. There will be resources sent. This website, we're making the application and to be ready in maybe by Monday, but we'll be able to send you that to you so you can install it on your phone. And just instead of going to the website, you just click on the application and see what we have available. We'll also create another website where you can get latest information from us or another app. So with those applications on your devices, you'll be able to easily see, catch up with us and be able to know where we are, what we are doing, and be able to see what jobs are posted most recently. And see what jobs are posted most recently. Um, so for places, if you're asking of places to apply, some of the best places to send out these applications, there's LinkedIn jobs, there's We Work Remotely, you can write it down if you would want to. LinkedIn jobs, We Work Remotely, Upwork. Some people were asking the difference between Upwork and Fiverr. Upwork is more for if you are looking for something long term. Fiverr is if you are looking for gigs. That's the major difference between the two of them. So if you are looking for setting up like a shop online, then you can use Fiverr. If you are looking for being able to send out your applications to people, then Upwork is a lot better because Fiverr they can only apply they only work per particular activity, while Upwork they can discuss for other things as well. So that's the oh yes, thank you for this question about CVs. I actually almost forgot that part. We Now that's another very interesting thing. There's what is called tailored CVs. There are tailored CVs for things like this. And um, one of the best ways to go about it is how do I explain this? How do I explain this? Most of these websites that people can apply for remote jobs, you can build your CV directly on the website without having to have a PDF file that you created. So when let's say you register, for example, on We Work Remotely or any of the other kinds of websites, even LinkedIn jobs, for example, we would send I think we'll send you guys a comprehensive list of these websites. There's also remote.co. Probably we'll send it after the meeting. There are quite a number of them. Yeah, there are quite a number of them that you can use. So, but to make sure that but always make sure that it's stated clearly on anyone before you apply, that it is open to everybody, so that you don't apply to something that they only want people from a particular country. That's one of the reasons for our own, so that you'll be able to know that anything you're applying for is vetted for Nigerians. So about the CV, you can create, maybe we might be able to send a template CV. If you create your own CV, you can always send it by email to standardcompany0@gmail.com, and or you can send it in the website as a message, and we can help you review it and get back to you on it on if it is good or whatever may need changing. But you can send it to standard. I'll put the company email on the chat. Standard company 0. Can send it there. So we can help you just go through it and let you know if anything needs to be added or changed. But mostly it has to be tailored to show your experience. And when you are showing your experience, the best way to write out your CV, list out any certifications you have, list out any um voluntary roles you've done. They are very useful. They love seeing those things. Then list out when you are listing out your job applications, don't necessarily go about putting your address and all because it may not be needed. Just a phone number. And sometimes you may not even need to put it because they are going to be communicating with you through the website you are using or email. So most times they will not need your phone number for anything. A lot of these jobs, they even give you phone numbers for their countries if you need to. If, for example, you're in customer service. So those are not things that are too much of a bother for you. So what was I saying? Um, okay, if I didn't lose my train of thoughts. Um, so yeah, I think that's basically that. So we'll be happy to just send it either on the website as a message or send it directly on through to the email address. The email is in the chat already and we can help you with CV review. So I think we have time for just a few questions. Then any other questions can come on the group chat for tomorrow. You can think about them, then bring your questions in the group chat tomorrow in the afternoon, then we'll be able to answer those. We may even probably also just have another brief meeting tomorrow, but it will most likely be chats on the group chat. So anyone, feel free. I'll um turn on Google. Yeah, those on Zoom, if you want to, you can type yours because I muted Zoom. Now, for instance, someone who do not have any of these skills you mentioned, how do you get to help the person? Getting skills is a very easy process. Thanks for that question, Paul. Paul, right? Yeah, that is a very good question. Okay, most of these skills, let's say you want to learn them, let's be practical, right? Let's be practical. In the Nigerian market, you go to maybe like a tech school or something, and they're telling you to learn data analysis, you need to bring 250,000, and the classes will be online, correct? Are you still there? Yeah. Do you agree with what I said? Do you agree with what I said? That's correct, yeah. Like you check with old school, for example, they require about $300, I think, to get into old school. About 200, I'm not too sure. So many of these skills, now this is the part we were talking about earlier. Many of these skills, remember, I said when you are writing your application or your proposal, a lot of these remote jobs deal more with proposals and even more than applications in a lot of cases. When you are writing your proposal or application, depending on what it is, they are going to ask you, what do you know how to do? So now you don't know how to do anything in that particular case. How do you get to do something? The most beautiful resource that we have as Nigerians is YouTube. Instead, if you don't have that 200 plus or thereabouts to pay maybe old school or any other place to pay any organization, that any organization at all. I'm not sure it's of old school because I don't know their prices. I'm just using that as a case as an example. So you don't have that money to pay any organization that is going to require their payments. I think old school even has like you can pay in broken down pace or so. At the end of the day, we can for example say, oh, come in. We actually have a sister organization that does that. We can say, oh, you are going to pay maybe 100,000, 200,000. But the best thing we can do for you, rather than collect your money and take that, is to tell you, go to YouTube, go on LinkedIn. LinkedIn has courses. There's a HubSpot. They have courses. There are a lot of free resources that you can use. Use those resources to learn. When you are done learning, go on Google, search for practice tests. Take those tests and see if you are good. If you have any friend around you, let's say, for example, you learned how to manage social media properly, meet anybody you know that just started an online business. Tell them you want to manage their social media. You can do it for free. You can do it for a very cheap amount. But that's where you are having real life cases. So when you are now on that Zoom meeting or Google meeting or however, with the person that you are going to be in front of them with, what do you think you are going to tell them? When they ask you, how can you help us? You will be able to tell them all the things you have done to help other people that you have worked with in these areas. Does that make sense? So you are building experience and you've built knowledge, but you did not necessarily have to pay anything. So you can if you have the money to pay, but to be honest, they are never going to ask you, did you write this particular exam to get this to know how to do this data analysis? Did you go to school of data analysis? Because there isn't even any such school. Most likely no such school. Do you understand? So what all they need is okay, instead of saying that, the way you can tailor yourself is you can say, I have over a year experience with data analysis. I know how I've worked on tables. I know how to create graphs that are quite useful, and I can send over a few examples to you. Then they would now want to ask you, okay, so in this case, we are dealing with data that represents countries. How are you going to apply this data? Then you can tell them how you are going to divide this, how you are going to do that. By the time they are 5 minutes in with you, they would know if they would want you on their team or not. Yeah. I hope that answers your question. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So it's all just to be able to put it in a way that it shows that you know what you are doing. That's all they want from you, to know that you know what you are doing. Exactly, exactly. You get to the office, they want to know that you know what you are doing. And we are not even, and Nigeria is a more certificate country. Those places are more experience-based countries. Okay, we have another question here. Can you list out the skills that are needed? Yeah, there are a lot of skills. Can you help us do some of our well, we do such things. We usually can do those, but that's on it. We have another place where we do those, but probably with time we would introduce some of you guys to that aspect possibly. We also have our formulas for that, all that. Then for the skills, some of the best skills I can give you I can tell you about. Data analysis is very good. That's if you don't want to go into tech related ones, if you don't want to go into coding related ones, data analysis is very good. Writing is very good. Transcribing, well, I won't say too good, but it's okay. I wouldn't advise you to go into transcribing markets because it's very heavy. Writing is good. Product testing is good. Um, um, Marketing is good. Not Nigerian type of marketing. Um, what else? There's business analysis, case studies, product testing. There's a lot, but we'll put them on the website, on the group for you guys later. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Can work. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. There's That's a good part of it, though there's more to it. That's why a lot of these areas you may see somebody say, I I have 4 years experience in software testing. It's also a kind of product testing, but it is not it's not the only product testing. So most of the product testing you will see that has to do with remote online or remote jobs is more in areas like, let's say somebody is creating an app, they are building an app. Companies like Microsoft and the rest, they pay people for those things a lot. But that's another thing. They don't really look at Nigeria. So unless you're able to get access to those things, and there are places you can actually get access to them, but they do those things too. But there are people who, maybe for example, someone, it could be a young guy in maybe the UK, for example, or the US or New Zealand. They could say, okay, they want to get into this one now is a real life experience. For example, they want to get into the Nigerian market with a product, and okay, so they want you to just or maybe they want to get into Ghanaian market, for example, they'll give you a Ghanaian phone number that's an eSIM that you can use from an app, and they can tell you, okay, email companies in Ghana for the next 30 days and see how it's going to be. That's market testing. Yeah, and that's something that also happens. For somebody could be trying to create an app. They want to know if their app is going to be good. They can they can get maybe like 50 people and say, okay, everyone test this app and we're going to pay maybe $50 for the testing of this app. So use it for the next 1 week on your device. Take notes of everything that you want to change and all. Then you have the meeting with them and explain to them. Yes, data entry is another good area. But data entry, the only thing with data entry is it's more entry level. If you enter into data entry, you can use data entry to get in, but I would advise you don't you from data entry try to move into data analysis because that's a senior part of data. That's for that's to answer Pauline. Then someone who has experience in administrative assistant and I've never worked online, how do you mean to secure? Yeah. All that part. We have areas for that. We would give information. Like I said, this is not the end of our interactions. This is just the beginning because we'll be bringing a lot more people into that will be bringing like we have people that uh you can say I'm trying not to give too much information on individuals, but yeah, we'll don't worry about that. We'll be able to get in touch with you guys if on getting started to yeah. Yes, you can. You can, but like I said, I think something accounting related, to be honest, I think I would even prefer you go on a place like LinkedIn more. LinkedIn is more professional. So you are more likely to see accounting related ones on LinkedIn than anywhere else, to be honest. Don't worry, we'll give you guys a comprehensive list. We'll send it across to you guys of places that you can check out. But then again, remember, consistency is key. So, I think we should be done with questions. Thank you very much. Any other question that comes in? Okay, I think we can take one more. Yeah, yeah, one more. Yes, we can hear you. Okay, two more. Let just with these two, then we'll be done. Yeah, I can hear you. Hello. Yeah, good evening. Yes, please. Oh, I as yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. 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 Yeah, we actually do something similar to that already. For you guys, we'll give you guys more information on that when we have slots open for that. But At the same time, we would advise you just keep pushing to get your own because nothing is as good as when you are the one directly in touch with whoever your client is. Is that correct? Yes, that's another good question. There are ways